All right. Welcome back to this episode. So today, yes, we are with a different person now. We said we were going to bring on two today. So today we're joined by Vansh, and I'm going to let Vansh pronounce his last name after because I don't want to butcher it. I want to hear, the true pronunciation of it. He's a senior here in industrial engineering. I was almost about to say biomedical. That's me.
That's you. That's you, Nick.
We have another industrial engineer. Awesome. A senior in industrial engineering, a fellow peer counselor here in the Office of Future Engineers as well. So Vansh, last name, and then who you are.
Perfect. So hey guys, I'm Vansh. My last name is pronounced as Thakker, and there's two K's in it. So there's no equivalent English pronunciation for two K's, which is okay. So I just go by Vansh. So I'm a senior in industrial engineering. Started in fall 2020, so COVID admit. That's always the fun thing to talk about. And I'm involved in the Office of Future Engineers and a business fraternity, which is Alpha Kappa Psi, and also in Purdue Pilots, which is a club on campus, which has 2 airplanes that we rent out to students who want to learn how to fly.
Oh, wow.
And that's me.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't actually know we had that club.
Yeah.
I know we had Purdue Aviation, but I didn't know we had Purdue Pilots. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool club.
Do you know how to fly then, or?
Yeah, so I started learning how to fly in 2021.
Okay.
Again, very fun story as an international student. Again, having that opportunity to just go up in a plane, have a airfield right like 2 miles from campus, just getting on there, taking off. Super fun thing.
Awesome.
That's super cool. So I guess we'll start with a question. What do you wish you would have known about Purdue before you actually came here?
It snows a lot.
I feel like we get that from a lot of our international students.
Yeah.
A lot of people too, but a lot of international students I think talk about it. Snow.
Yeah. Mumbai, it doesn't go above 27 degrees Celsius, which is 75 Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Okay, you know what? I'll translate to Fahrenheit.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So like 75 to 100
Wow.
all year round. We have a lot of rain, but never snow.
Wow.
So I've never
Sounds like
seen
Florida.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have never seen it go below 21 Celsius or like about 70 Fahrenheit in
Wow.
Mumbai. And here it's cold.
So was your first time seeing snow actually in Indiana? Or had you?
Yes.
Okay, it
So,
was.
first time actually seeing snow not on a mountain was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you could see it off in the. I know there are a lot of mountains, right, in northern India.
Northern India, yes. Again, first time seeing snow was in India, but it was on a mountain, old snow.
Mm-hmm.
But like actually snowflakes falling on the ground and it looking pretty for exactly 2 hours before it goes cold. It's amazing.
Yeah. And so with that, how have you been able to find community here? As an international student, what are some of the groups or maybe some of the people you've met that really has helped you kind of find your community?
So yeah, there are a lot of clubs that deal with like Indians and Indian cultures. I can name 3 on campus, which is AIF, which is American Indian Foundation. Another one is Indian Students Association, and another one is the Cricket Association. Cricket is big in India. So apparently how our clubs are designed is that club, the Cricket Association hosts a lot of events outside of cricket itself. And through those clubs, a lot of international students from India and a lot of Indians who were born here and kind of share the same cultural identity as me. That is really what my community is at Purdue. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know clubs have been a big part for me in making Purdue feel smaller and getting my own community. For me, it's Run Club, but the cultural clubs are super cool. I haven't heard anyone say anything negative about them.
And I've enjoyed going to some. I know a lot of them will get together and host fairs sometimes together. And I always love and try to make an effort to get to them because, first of all, I love food. tasting food from all over the world is something that, you know, is so great. And I love to try as much as I can. So I love to go to the fairs and try as much of the food as I can. Cause I think food brings people together really, you know, a
100%.
lot. And I love, you know, getting to experience, you know, and taste all the different parts of the world. Cause there's so much out there that I feel like we don't get here. And so it's awesome that we were able to have these clubs on campus and that, you know, the culture still holds strong, you know, across the entire campus. And so it's loved. I always love to talk about those because I always love to go to the fairs and do them. And all my friends will drag me to them sometimes and be like, okay, no, we need to go to this one. We need to go to this one. I'm like, I got to study. I got to go to, you know, study sometimes. But it is fun to see the, you know, the fairs sometimes. So.
Oh, yeah. And definitely, again, these clubs host a lot of events, a lot of festivals that I miss back home. India has a lot of festivals and they're a lot of fun. Like 2 major festivals. Oh, actually 3 that I obviously love being from Mumbai. I'm from Mumbai. So one is Ganesh Chaturthi.
Okay.
Diwali we know.
Yes.
And Holi. Holi is the festival of colors. So we would get together on Memorial Memorial Mall, and we would have some nice music, nice food, and we would have powdered colors, water balloons that we would play with, and that's a big part of Indian culture. Festivals, getting together, just enjoying food, enjoying memories with each other. I think that's like my core memories of Purdue, like these Indian festivals on campus. And I mean, this time we had fireworks after Diwali.
Wow.
Yeah, fireworks are a big part after Diwali. I mean, India is just, I mean, Mumbai growing up, we had so many fireworks. And kind of having that here after so many years of being away from home is, again, surreal. And again, thanks to Purdue for this.
Yeah, and I know, like, the university kind of becomes your home.
Yeah.
The 4 years or more that you're here. But it's really cool that they're able to bring some of your home and everyone else's home. They have like a skiing club, and I'm from Colorado.
That's your culture from Colorado.
Yeah, skiing and hiking. But it's really cool how they can bring some of other people's home here to campus and include it into our home here.
Yeah, it makes one big family community with all the different, you know, areas.
Yes.
And so with that, you know, what other types of like resources have you used on campus? I know we talked about clubs and you talked about cultural clubs. Are there any other types of resources that you use to help transition and really get into, you know, college life and being in America away from home?
Again, being away from home into America, and again, being an international student on a visa, immigration is a big thing, right? You need to make sure your visa statuses are perfectly okay. You're not in violation at any point, because all of these things are so well defined by the Office of International Students and Scholars, ISS, at Purdue. So it's really easy to reach out to them and kind of ask those questions about, hey, this is what I'm doing. Is it okay to do so? That is something that is a resource that I've used so many times. They're available by phone most mornings. So you just call them up and they're super friendly. And I know a lot of these situations are very tough regarding immigration, that, hey, I got an internship after struggling so much with the job market and how the internship market works as a first internship. Now, how do I deal with visa situations? I'm a 18-year-old. I don't know anything about anything. And Purdue ISS will literally hold your hand throughout the entire process. And I think hats off to them. They really put us 18 to 21-year-old people together with the bureaucracy involved with being a foreign national. I think that's one of the major resources that I've used.
those are, stressors that, students from America or, American students don't have to deal with on a daily basis. And so, I can't even imagine, some of the stressors that then are added on top of being a college student. So I'm, so glad to hear that there are, we have these resources, ISS available for you to help kind of take that burden off your shoulders and, and help you, kind of transition to be a Purdue student. Because, we want to be this, a big welcoming community, and we have that to go with it. And it's nice to hear, because I haven't, you have stressors, at home, but there's a whole other level when it's, being able to apply for a visa. So that's something it's great to hear that you've been able to help find that, and been able to help, get through it. And it sounds like it's been pretty seamless of a process.
It is.
I know there's always some, hiccups, but it sounds like it's been pretty good working with ISS.
100%.
Yeah. And then I guess, do you have any advice for international students that are thinking about coming here? Like what to consider when they're looking at Purdue, or just colleges in general?
Colleges in general. Again, one big thing that I talk about with families that come here for advice is what are you looking for in a college experience? Are you looking for an urban setting, or are you looking for something more college town, something drivable? For me, the biggest thing was, so I know freedom looks different for different people. For me, freedom is I can take my car around and drive anywhere I want, get food, go to classes, although Purdue parking. Don't bring your car on campus freshman year. Please don't.
Yeah, you can't as a freshman.
It's possible.
It is possible.
If you have the credit levels. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a whole qualification, but anyways.
Yeah, but like...
Don't need it. Campus
Don't need
is
it.
very walkable.
Yes,
exactly.
very
Campus
much
is
so.
very walkable. But then there's, again, all of these, having a car and driving is freedom for me. Can't have that in New York City.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the major thing that you need to consider. Like, look within yourself. What do you want? 18 years being in Mumbai, I was done with the city. Do not want to be in the city anymore. If I see another high rise, I'll not be okay. So that is why I was like, hey, it's a college town. Another reason is Purdue is really safe. West Lafayette is one of the safest campuses in the U.S. And again, from a parent's perspective, from a family perspective, right? Sending your kid 7,000 miles away from home, alone in a different country, you want them to be safe.
Yes.
And West Lafayette being the safest there is, my parents never had to worry about me studying past 3 a.m. or me hanging out with friends on different part of campus at 5 a.m. Because it's...
You get to walk home. And it's
I
safe,
get to
right?
walk home, and it's definitely safe. Again, you have a normal level of caution that you exercise at 5 a.m.,
Right.
but it's generally very safe.
Yeah.
That's some of those things that you need to consider in a college before you go as an international student, because again, there is a way of life that you grow up with in a country, and you know how things work. When you're going to a new country, you necessarily do not have an idea of how general rules work, like street smartness, how to walk on the street so that obviously no criminal activities happen with you. And again, that is some of those things that you need to consider as an international student. So yeah, that was one of the things that I looked at Purdue, and here I am.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a completely different community, when you come, from different cities around the world, and, having, worked, lived abroad. I've seen that, and going there, I've noticed it's a lot different than coming here. And it's cool because you find those unique parts of what makes, the culture of the city that you're living in. And as you said, kind of the freedom for you is driving the car, versus, other cities around the world where you take public transportation everywhere and you don't own a car. So it's cool to know that, there are unique experiences to kind of that American college life, being here on this campus, and adjusting to that and kind of figuring out what that is. And so And I remember Isabella right before on this podcast, kind of shared about if you have the ability to come visit, it's nice to see, the campus and, what that looks like. But if you don't, there are ways, you can reach out to those clubs and reach out to people who are here.
100%. And just to share a little bit, I wasn't able to visit campus at all before coming here. The first time
blind kind of
blind acceptance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just said,
And
all right, computer button, yes.
yes, and I did my first semester online.
Oh wow.
So I was in my bedroom in front of my computer in India, taking classes here. My sleep schedule was gone.
the time change, right?
Time change and everything. So
Yeah.
like studying throughout the night and like sleeping throughout the day.
Wow.
Not the best thing to do, but again, it was COVID and times were different,
Right?
and we had to deal with that. But coming back to the point, like I did not know what campus was until I came in my second semester, and kind of like that shuttle going in was like, hey, this campus seems nice. Although we had a lot of resources, we have a lot of virtual visit opportunities, and
Videos
where
and
you can
tours.
see campus tours like virtually. And again, this podcast really helps students to kind of make that decision. When you're
That's our
on the
goal.
fence of like deciding between schools, you kind of need that push. And
Right.
that push for me was actually Office of Future Engineers.
Oh wow.
Well, thank you so much, Vansh, for being on the show this week. I guess one more thing before we leave off with this episode. Why did you choose Purdue?
Okay, that's a good question. So I would say again, number 2 industrial engineering school. Again, not knowing, not having the opportunity to come to campus to see the campus community, which is true for most international students. You go off of statistics. Again, that's a good way to start off on your search, but I would encourage people to look beyond the statistics. Again, just go in and talk to people, go in, reach out to clubs, all of that. That is another thing that you could do while you're choosing Purdue. But another thing that I really considered, and my college counselor told me this while looking at schools, was looking at the alumni network. Our alumni network is about 100,000 engineers worldwide.
5% of all practicing engineers in the United States of America are a Purdue engineer. I had to say that as
that's-
statistic because I always love to point it out.
That's so
5%.
cool, though.
Huge
5%.
number
Big
in
number,
just our
yeah.
university.
So it's just like in internships and in the workforce, you will always bump into Purdue engineers, and they would be your managers. They would be your hiring managers. that is cool. They can be your recruiters too. And again, having that connection that, hey, you've been in West Lafayette, I've been in West Lafayette. We have struggled together with all of our things West Lafayette. So that builds a bond, and internally they know how good of an engineer you are, because Purdue engineering has a reputation for a reason, and we are a rigorous program, and we produce good engineers. So having that kind of bond between industry and alumni, again, super important. Another fun story about engineering alumni or alumni in general with Purdue. So I was in Mumbai on the in one of the malls, which is again very old concept for America, but malls are super famous in India. We love it. They're elaborate. A lot of retail stores. It's amazing. So I was walking down there and with my Purdue shirt on me, like last around Christmas time when I went back home, and somebody went up to me, pointed at me, and goes like, "Boiler up," and I'm like,
Wow.
7,000 miles away from my university, I get boiler ups everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, that's the testament to where our alumni are. They're all over the globe. They're working everywhere.
Yeah.
And having that Purdue degree on you is like a symbol enough that you're qualified for an engineering job.
Right. That's
And
what you did.
Purdue generally has a good experience with industrial engineering. That was my reason to choose Purdue, and that's the reason that I'm here talking to you guys. And
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, that will actually help to wrap up and conclude this week's episode. And as always, please reach out to the Office of Future Engineers with any questions or concerns you may have. And we're here to chat with you. And we really want to help make this experience better to transition.
Yes. We'll see you next week.
Woo. Hey, y'all, it's us again. We have many opportunities for you to actually connect with our podcast.
Yeah, so you can send an email to the email down below on your screen and send us a picture of you enjoying your coffee break with us, you and your coffee mug.
Yes, send us a selfie. And if also send us your mug if you want to be featured at the podcast. We have our address also linked below if you would like to send us our mug. And we'd love to feature your mug on our podcast with our next upcoming episodes. Thank you so much.
See you guys.